quickly intro Rossana. So hello Rossana, this is Rossana Leal from the Refugee Buddy Project in Hastings. She's doing fantastic work. Rossana, it would be great if you could share a little bit about yourself and your journey.
Thank you for inviting me to speak today and to share our experience and what we're doing here in Hastings. Hello, everyone. I'm speaking to you from Hastings. We're in the southeast. Apparently, we're the only place in the UK where it's not snowing and where it's not freezing today. I can see the beach from here, and well, the sun was shining about 10 minutes ago. My name is Rossana, and I'm the CEO of the Refugee Buddy Project. The Refugee Buddy Project is a project I started way back in 2017. And it was a project I started because I wanted to replicate the warm welcome I had received as a child when I arrived seeking refuge in 1977 with my parents and my brothers and sisters. We had come from Chile in 1977, escaping the Pinochet dictatorship, and we were welcomed by a huge group of volunteers at the time who made us feel welcome. We arrived in London, we're in a refugee hotel in London, and then we were adopted, I think, by the Scottish mining community, hence a bit of a Scottish accent, which you might all be able to hear. And we were given a home and safety and welcomed in the town of Cowdenbeath in Fife. The experience of being welcomed in that way always stayed with me. I studied in Scotland, in schools in Scotland. I then went off to work in London. And then when I moved here, I could see what was happening to the Syrian refugees who were trying to make their journeys across Europe to safety. And you know, I felt really compelled that I had to do something about it, or essentially that I could do something about it. And so I set up the Refugee Buddy Project. Today we have hundreds of volunteers who want to be matched up with newly arriving people seeking refuge, which is what we do. So at the heart of what we do is we match newly arriving people seeking refuge with local volunteers. We practice English, we do an element of employment support, we do loads of social gatherings, lots of eating together. And because of the change in circumstances and the increased hostility towards refugees, we've actually seen our work move much more into advice and advocacy and into campaigning in the last couple of years. We have an open door towards working with all people seeking refuge. So we started with the Vulnerable Persons Resettlement Programme. We are seeing people and supporting people who have come through the different Afghan relocation schemes. We are also supporting people in homes for Ukraine. We support people who are in the Home Office dispersal scheme here in Hastings. And lately, we have been really, really challenged in terms of what we have seen and in the setting up of a Home Office spot hotel, where we found 81 men had been placed there from one day to the other. The circumstances in this hotel were I would say completely dehumanizing. The men were being given horrible treatment, horrible food. They're in cramped conditions. They were in the clothes that they had arrived in when they'd come off the boats or on different beaches. They'd had their telephones taken off them. Horrific situation, and some of them had come from Manston, and we were hearing horrific stories about the treatment of these men in Manston detention centre. And I think that this is where compassion for us has been crucial, and it's going to be crucial in terms of exploring Refugee Week this year, because the stories of the men in the hotel are something that are going to be at the heart of what we do with Refugee Week. One of our core projects is the celebration of Refugee Week. It's something we decided it was so important for us to celebrate Refugee Week right from the beginning when we set up this project. And I think this is also influenced by the fact that as a child, a refugee child, living within a refugee community, I grew up surrounded by the arts. I grew up surrounded by poetry, by music, by patchwork storytelling, all sorts of things that enabled us to celebrate, cry together, and also to tell our stories. So I think this is why I think Refugee Week should be at the heart of what we all do in terms of working with people seeking refuge. So this year we are really happy because we're being supported by the Arts Council. We have been given a small grant to help us celebrate. So we've brought in a project manager, and we're able to share this money out by doing a huge call to action. But we're doing a creative call to action to get as many local artists involved to explore the theme of compassion. We also have all the local art galleries involved. So I don't know if you know where Hastings is, but we are on the coast, and up the road from us is Eastbourne as well. And we've also got Bexhill, and on the three corners there are three major art galleries: the Towner up in Eastbourne, the Delaware in Bexhill, and the Hastings Contemporary here in Hastings. All galleries are taking part. There will be some kind of activity happening in all of the art galleries, as well as all of the contributions of local artists who live in this area. Please come and hang out with us during Refugee Week. You're more than welcome. We promise you're going to have a fantastic time. Thank you.